The world is always in need of the next revolutionary famous blind person. Whether it's Helen Keller, Stevie Wonder, Ray Charles, or my personal favorite. Heck, even fictional blind people are still amazing. Daredevil is and will always be one of my favorite comic book superheroes of all time. Right behind Spider-Man, slightly above Invincible. But you may be wondering why the heck I am talking about blind dudes in Daredevil. The title says how John Wick 4 steals from other movies, and don't worry, you're not blind. Chapter 4 is one of the best action movies of all time. This franchise in general should be raised on a pedestal because honestly, every film is at least a 4 out of 5 and above. I have yet to see such a consistent string of amazing movies, much like the John Wick series. What? That is partly because this franchise actually does their homework. Let me rephrase that. They copy their homework, and that's not a bad thing. It is to no surprise that many of John Wick's elements were greatly inspired by the film noir of movies like Les Circle Road, I don't know. With his rainy neo-noir composition and themes of loyalty, betrayal, and of course revenge. Many of the action set pieces and signature trademark gung fu that John Wick was infamously known for are inspired by John Woo films, which include The Killer, Hard Boiled, and A Better Tomorrow. Pablo Picasso, the man, the myth, the legend, said it best: good artists borrow, great artists steal. Every director is guilty of this. Before a director even steps foot into a set, they most likely have gone through a stage of what I like to call mining for inspiration. This means looking into films of the past to find either the feel of a movie they're about to make, a cinematic shot, a lighting setup, action scenes, or just about any bit of gold a director can get their hands on. And in John Wick 4's case, that piece of gold is Donnie Yen, because he in fact is the greatest thing to happen to this franchise since pencils. Chapter 4 introduces us to Kane, a blind, retired, extremely skilled assassin and martial artist. He is an old friend of John Wick, turned antagonist, because the High Table, which is the newest secret organization led by horror icon Pennywise, wants to punish and kill not only John, but the idea of John Wick. Now, this isn't Donnie Yen's first rodeo playing a blind dude who kicks ass. He was actually in Rogue One, which might be the best Star Wars movie, where he took the role of Chirrut Imwe, I don't know, this guy. One thing that sticks out about Donnie Yen and the films he appears in is that he's actually really involved with the movie production process, almost to the levels of Tom Cruise. Chirrut's character would have actually been ruined if the filmmakers had not listened to Donnie. It was him who gave him a detached persona with his self-soothing mantras, contrasted with his crazy fighting abilities and decision making, which really added to the idea that it is the Force. Similarly, in John Wick 4, Donnie Yen looked at the original script and pretty much gave it a bombastic side eye. He requested several changes to this character, including the name. Kane was originally supposed to be Shang or Chang, and Donnie Yen was like, this is garbage. But it wasn't just a name that was generic, because apparently my boy would have been rocking Mandarin collars and looking like a 1940s anti-Japanese propaganda character. This is the John Wick franchise. You gotta look stylish. Rocking a black suit and killing a plethora of people go hand in hand like PB&J. I for one am grateful that Kane wasn't an old blind guy with a cane, but instead a cool guy in a suit and the occasional turtleneck, delivering the greatest fuck off in cinematic history. Above anything else, this film showed me that it is perfectly okay to copy. John Wick made their own universe's version of the Penguin and Daredevil. Kane was pretty much Matt Murdock. They both had the suit, the glasses, the stick, a unique fighting style with weaknesses designed around not being able to see, and the only difference was that Kane had a gun with one bullet and was also not getting with every female he interacted with. Bruh. The film even had scenes showcasing Kane praying in churches, and the entire movie overall had lots of religious undertones, much like the Daredevil Netflix series. Maybe Kane's character is a way of the John Wick team homaging what that small low-budget Netflix team was able to create. I don't know, but that's what's in my head, and I'm gonna roll with it, because I love both of these projects, and watching a blind dude absolutely fondle people will always be insanely awesome. Then we got the Penguin. Killer. And yeah, directors Chad Stahelski and David Leitch pretty much put Scott Adkins in a fat suit, and it worked because he was a complete badass. For you action newbies out here, Scott Adkins is normally doing insane athletic kicks, as he in my opinion is the most entertaining martial art actor to watch in terms of choreography. My favorite part of John Wick 4 was seeing Keanu Reeves and Scott go at it in what looks like the Club from 2022's The Batman. Overall, John Wick Chapter 4 just feels like a mashup of the greatest action sequences in not only film history but various types of media. I am a huge gamer, therefore my brain cannot cannot stop thinking about how certain scenes look like they were ripped straight out of some of the recent games I've played. Sifu is the one that comes to mind, which is pretty obvious because the game is heavily inspired by martial arts movies and even has a nod to the infamous scene from Oldboy. What really made my jaw drop to the ground while watching John Wick 4 was this one particular scene where the camera goes into third person god mode and we get an overhead one take shot of John Wick blasting people with what looks like a pack-a-punch shotgun from Dead Ops Arcade. I did see this movie 10 days early, so I apologize for not having footage, but I promise you what you're seeing on screen right now is in John Wick 4, and it was movified in all the best ways possible. Last but not least was Mario Kart. Yeah, I said Mario Kart, you heard it. I kid you not, the final act of this movie is probably the greatest thing I've ever witnessed in my entire life. These were throwing each other into cars going 50 miles per hour in front of the Arc de Triomphe while Painted Black was playing in the background, except this time a good movie used it. But never in a million years would I have thought a video game adjacent narrative could reference so many things. The movie's first 5 seconds opens off with a direct match cut from a scene from Lawrence of Arabia. Ever since then I knew I was in for something special. Camera work, lighting, and action choreography all combined to make some of the most visceral and intense action sequences you'll ever see. Somehow each big set piece tops the last, leading to perhaps the best climax ending of the series to date. Not to mention the set design is absolutely phenomenal. This movie looked expensive to make due to every new location feeling like a new world from a video game. This movie also just straight up references itself. Remember that fall that everyone said was goofy and there was no way John Wick could survive? Well, they kind of turned that into a meme. He falls from very high places several times in this film. But yeah, that's all I really wanted to say, man. This movie is awesome. My first 5-star of the year. But yeah, leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video because I know you did. Therefore, I'm going to trust you guys to leave a like and comment down below if this is the best John Wick movie, the best action franchise ever, and the best action movie ever. Pretty please?
Yeah.